Back at the St. Joseph Civic Arena for fight night, a couple of heavyweights will do battle. Alex Stewart, who had an opportunity to go against Mike Tyson in Atlantic City in December and failed miserably, is trying to climb back up the heavyweight ladder. St. Joseph, Missouri, where the ride of the Pony Express began and Jesse James ended. In the late 1800s, Jesse James was the most wanted man in the country. For Alex Stewart, Mike Tyson is the man he wanted. Unfortunately, last December, his showdown with Iron Mike proved to be a major disappointment. It lasted less than a round. After being sent to the canvas 3 times by the former champ, Stewart realized he needed a change of direction in his career. The heavyweight moved from New York to Florida, left Edwin Virouette, and is now trained by Jimmy Williams. Alex Stewart hopes the changes will vault him back into title contention and a chance to redeem himself against Iron Mike Tyson. Alex, after the loss to Mike Tyson in Atlantic City in December, talk of retirement. How serious were your thoughts about retiring from the ring?
Well, actually, I did think I was going to retire that time. I thought, you know, a loss like that, you always think about retirement. But, you know, now I figure I'd give it one more shot.
You have a change of location and a change of trainers. Tell us how that came about.
Well, I was talking about going to Florida, you know, and me and my wife, and we decided Florida would be good. But then my trainer said to me, you know, I should keep on boxing because I only lost 1 fight. And, you know, I tried Lifeline, who's a great defensive trainer. And my manager said, well, give it one more shot, and that's what I'm doing.
Lifeline, of course, is Jimmy Williams. How did he get that nickname Lifeline from you?
Because I had so many I had Jimmy Fennell, my trainer, and Jimmy's son. I have a Jimmy, a friend, you know, so I just call him Lifeline and make it easier so I can know who's the different one.
Is your main objective now getting back at Mike Tyson?
My main objectives haven't changed. I think the main objective right now is to get the world title. Mike Tyson will come, and I'll use every beat we'll have to beat now, and take it from there, and then go back and take it for a world title shot. And then I go for Mike Tyson.
Well, he's got a long way to go to get back up into the contenders with all the old guys coming out of retirement, Joe.
Yeah, that's true.
So Alex Stewart.
You could have an old-timers boxing tournament.
A seniors tour.
Yeah.
Alex Stewart, who is not a senior by any means, just 26 years old. There he is, Jimmy Lifeline Williams, the man who Stewart credits with a big change in his attitude and his tactics in the ring.
I think Jimmy is a fine trainer. I think his attitude towards Stewart is very, very good. I think he's the right guy for the job, but I'll tell you this, we'll find out.
Well, let's find out about the guys who are going to battle from ring announcer Bob Orff.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 10 rounds of heavyweights going in. In this fight, your referee is Rio de Janeiro. Your judges scoring this fight, Chet Hall, Richard Keith, and Harry Nuttall. First of all, introducing in the blue corner, from Spartansburg, South Carolina, record 13 wins, 13 losses, 2 ties, 5 KOs, weighing in at 232 pounds in the red and yellow trunks. Make a welcome in the blue corner, Danny Wofford. Danny Wofford in the blue corner. Introducing next a man that's been in with some of the best, and is one of the best in heavyweight boxing. He fought Mike Tyson. He gave Evander Holyfield all he wanted from Brooklyn, New York. His record, 26 wins, 2 losses, 26 KOs, weighing in 231 pounds in the black and gold trunks. From Brooklyn, make a welcome, Alex, the Destroyer Stewart. Alex Stewart in the red corner. 10 rounds.
And we have a 10-rounder with a couple of big guys, and Wofford is rather large. Let's listen to the instructions.
In the dressing rooms, you're both professionals. Keep everything above the waist and obey all my commands. I will not tolerate any fouls and no holding. Keep your clinching and holding to a minimum. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, and may the best man win. Good luck to both of you.
Now the official, the referee, is the man with the very melodic and geographic name Rio de Janeiro. And we're set for the first round, scheduled for 10. Wofford, rather rotund, 232 pounds. In fact, he weighs a pound more than Stewart.
Well, I think you're being very nice by calling him rotund.
You know, interestingly enough, when Danny Wofford started his career, he started as a 175-pounder.
You know something? Don't be deceived by the fact that this guy looks totally out of shape. This is a pretty cute, shifty veteran guy. He's got good staying power. He fought Bruce Seldon, who's an up-and-coming good puncher as a heavyweight, and he went the limit. He fought Henry Tillman, he went the limit with him. He fought Olin Norris, who's a real good fighter, and he went the limit with no, he didn't go to the limit. He was stopped in the 10th round.
Also took on Anthony Hembrick. He's trained by Billy Mitchell. You'd call him a journeyman fighter.
Yes, he's a journeyman fighter, but he's not a tanker. He's not going to get hit and go down. I mean, you're going to have to take this guy out with a good shot, and it's hard to hit with a good shot. He's pretty shifty. The problem with it is he doesn't throw enough punches to win fights.
Of course, Alex Stewart went down 227 into the first round against Mike Tyson in Atlantic City in December. 3 times and he was out. He went down 3 times in that round.
That's a shame because Alex Stewart is a lot better fighter than he showed that night. He just froze up for some reason that night.
Wofford put all 232 pounds behind that left. Wofford, as you can tell, a very definite height advantage for Stewart. Stewart about 6'4", Wofford about 5'10".
And he increases that by bending. Wofford's bending down quite a bit.
Stewart currently ranked number 8 by the WBC, number 9 by the IBF, and number 12 by the WBA.
He's got to use a good stiff left jab to open this guy up a little bit. If he uses a good jab and he establishes the jab, it'll be much easier to get other punches in. But Stewart is stalking. He's trying to hit him with one big shot. That's going to be very difficult to do with a ring-wise guy like Wofford.
Now, Jimmy Williams, Stewart's trainer, says that Alex has to polish his technique, use his head, and fight defensively.
Yeah, I agree with him, but I think he's got to use that jab a lot more. What he's doing right now is just pouring with the jab, and that's not going to be effective for him. Trying to land the one big shot. This is a mistake that a lot of young fighters make.
Well, that's another thing Williams says, that Stewart has to learn to take the opponent apart bit by bit.
And that's part of it, is opening him up with the jab so he can get the rest of the stuff in.
Well, the opening round of this scheduled 10-rounder is about to end, and it is over. Now let's go listen to what Jimmy Lifeline Williams has to say to Alex the Destroyer Stewart.
You're waiting too long, baby. Work the jab.
Apparently that mic's not working in the corner because we're not getting it.
Too far out. Popping the jab and work up the middle. Come on. He's dropping low, huh? Bend them knees. You're too straight up. You're too low. Get down with it. Big. You go up the middle on this guy.
Okay, good.
You got to attack him. You can't wait for him. Okay. Anybody who waits is lost. You know, come on, you got to get inside the fight. You're too far out. Understand? Bend them knees so you can go underneath. You're going underneath your puncher. Work the jab. Block. Like we've been doing. Okay. And do things off the jab. Okay. Come on, baby. Come on, let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of this guy.
You heard what...
It was interesting because Stewart said to Jimmy, he said he's bending down. And Jimmy told him to work off the jab and go underneath with the right uppercut. That's real good advice.
Well, Stewart told me he has a lot of confidence in Williams. Was there a split with Virouette when they left?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think what happened was that Stewart just felt that he needed a change, and being that he was relocating to Florida, I don't think Virouette wanted to relocate to Florida. So they picked up Jimmy Williams, a fine choice.
Stewart went from Brooklyn down to the Tampa Bay area, the lovely area down there, and fights out of the King Kong Gym down there.
Actually, the town he lives in is a beautiful little town by the name of Safety Harbor. I've spent a lot of time down there myself.
Stewart's been around the world, born in London, raised in Jamaica, fought for Jamaica in Los Angeles in the '84 Olympics.
Now, there was a combination he threw that I liked that could handle a left hook and a right uppercut. Because Wofford is bending on the left hook, but he goes right into the uppercut. Now he's coming underneath much better. He's listening to Jimmy this round. He's coming underneath with the right and the left uppercut, which will be effective with anybody that crouches the way Wofford is. But I still like to see him use his jab more so that he drives Wofford down. Once he's down, then he can use the uppercuts.
Wofford, when he punches, it looks like he's punching uphill. That time he went right to the midsection.
Yeah.
Well, we talked in the opening about the mental outlook for Stewart. And after a devastating loss like he had to Tyson, regaining confidence is something that is not easy.
He needs rounds. He needs time to be tested. He has to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds to get a true test. And also, he needs somebody to hit him on the chin to see how he's going to react to that.
A minute to go in round 2. Heavyweight scheduled to go 10.
But thus far, he looks good. He's throwing some nice punches. He's hanging in there real well. He looks good thus far.
Wofford just covering up there. Wofford in the red, Stewart in the black trunks.
Stewart's listening to Jimmy. He's putting a lot more pressure on him this round. He's not waiting as much. That's what he has to do. Because it's obvious with the weight that Wofford is carrying that he's overweight and he's not in the best of shape. So with a guy like that, you want to put as much pressure on him as possible. Hit him around the body. Hit him underneath. Hit him on the arms. Give him that pressure. Good 3-punch combination by Alex. A lot more pressure this round.
Stewart just nails away at the midsection. Good left. Under 10 to go in round 2. And we'll be back to St. Joseph, Missouri, round 3 after this. Round 3 about to begin. Alex Stewart in the black trunks, and Danny Wofford in the red with gold trim. Wofford in February had 2 fights within the space of 11 days, going 10 rounds in one fight, Joe, and 8 in the other. He lost both, but despite the fact that he looks like he wouldn't have stamina, obviously he can hang in there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of staying power. There's no doubt about that because he's fought a lot of good punches and he wasn't knocked out. But what's happening right now is Stewart's putting an awful lot of pressure on him. He's making it very uncomfortable. Oh, good right hand by Wofford. That shook Stewart a little bit. An overhand right.
No punches, no punches. Thank you.
Rio de Janeiro is the referee. Wofford just wailing. He came back, he wound up and let it go.
You know, he's forced to do that now because of the pressure that Stewart's putting on him. As I said before, he's putting on a lot more pressure and he's hurting him with some of those body shots, so he has to fight him off. Hoping that if he fights him off, Stewart will slow that pressure down.
I remember back in 1989, November 4th, he earned the respect of the boxing world. Did Alex Stewart by going 8 against Evander Holyfield.
Not only going 8, he was very competitive in that fight, in spite of the fact that he broke his hand and he had a bad cut over the eye. Good solid punches here by Stewart.
Speaking of Evander Holyfield and competitiveness, what about the George Foreman Holyfield fight coming up? What do you think?
I think there's an old expression that fits that fight. Aging hunters should not stalk young tigers, and that's what's happened in that fight.
I like the line Foreman had. He says, you know, Evander may have his nutritionists and his gurus. He says, I have room service.
Yeah, but Evander also has a good left hook and a good right hand to go along with that.
So you don't think George could come up with a big thunderous right?
Well, I give him 2 chances.
Slim and none?
Yeah, and Slim left town.
Okay. Under a minute to go in round 3 of this heavyweight matchup.
And Stewart continuing the pressure. I'd like to see him, there's a good jab. I'd like to see him go to the body a little bit more. But he's loading up with some big shots.
Wofford got angry with that one punch and delivered the uppercut that missed. Both guys grunting when they're throwing the punches.
I'll tell you one thing, they're not fooling around. These punches have bad intentions, especially Stewart with 2 good body shots. I'll tell you this much, if he concentrates on good left hook to the body by Stewart. If he concentrates on a body like this, he'll have Wofford out of there in 2 or 3 rounds because he's showing some wear and tear right now.
Well, the breathing gets heavier.
It is, and
movements get slower.
And he's floundering a little bit.
Time running out here in this third round. And I don't think the bell could have come soon enough for Danny Wofford, who heads back looking for that bench eagerly, and there's Alex Stewart.
He's doing a little bit of a rock and roll, hitting that stool, too.
Now let's listen into the corner for trainer Billy Mitchum talking to his charge, Danny Wofford.
Stop blowing out your nose. Stop blowing out your nose. You know what you're doing? You're blowing out your nose. If you're not going to punch, keep your hands up, man. Come on. Come on. Whenever you feel yourself getting tired, right? That's what I want you to do. When you go down, whenever you feel go down, come up with a
Yeah, there's Stewart with...
He's got some, you see the overhand right working? You see the overhand right working?
Well, Stewart was throwing some punches there, and you could hear them. Let's take a listen. Hear that grunting? Boy, sound like a couple of those women tennis players. They're slapping back and forth. The round's underway. Stewart with purpose in his eyes as he stalks Wofford. Stewart in the black trunks, Wofford in the red.
Good combination again. A left hook, which Wofford bends under, and then he drops that right uppercut right underneath. He could use that all night long.
Last round we talked about Holyfield and Foreman. What about Larry Holmes coming back into the ring Sunday night and the spectacle after the fight in the parking lot with Trevor Burbick?
I think it was very unprofessional by Holmes. I don't think that kind of stuff belongs in boxing. I think it's good for wrestling, but not in boxing.
Now Wofford getting visibly tired from my point of view as I watch him, kind of like staggering around.
Yeah, he's floundering. He's floundering around because he's getting hit some good shots around the body, and every once in a while Alex shifts it to the head like he did there.
Alex Stewart got him cornered over there, far across the ring from us.
He's keeping good pressure on Wofford and constantly throwing punches when he gets inside. I'm impressed with Alex. He looks good in this fight.
How long do you think it'll take him to climb back up there and mix it up with the guys that are earning the big bucks again?
I think one fight. If he gets somebody like a Bowe or a Mercer or a Morrison, and he fights like he's capable of fighting, and he beats him, he's right back in the picture.
Well, I'm sure when Alex was thinking about retiring, he remembered, even though he got beaten around by Mike Tyson, he earned $535,000 for that fight.
A good, solid right hand that time. I'll tell you, he's throwing some good shots in there, Alex. And I like some of the combinations he's putting against Wofford. 2 and 3 and 4 punch combinations.
Wofford comes in with an overhand right, but good left hook, like an effort now. You can hear that leather landing.
Yeah. And Stewart is a good puncher. Those are not any taps that he's hitting Wofford. These are good, solid shots. They have to take an effect.
He missed with that one.
Thank God.
Right above us now. Alex to the left. Stewart misses. They've grazed off the top of Wofford's head.
If Wofford was any less than what he is, he had a lot of excuses to quit in this fight, but he's hanging in there the best he can.
Wofford was turned around, and Stewart continues to throw the leather. Under 10 seconds to go in this fourth round. And we'll be back with round 5 in a moment.
That's it. Over. It's all over, yeah.
I think it's over. It's over, I think.
The fight stopped.
Stand up.
It's bullshit, man.
Good fight, man. Yeah, man. I ain't got nothing. Wrong day of the week, boy.
How you feel? You can beat it, man. Huh?
There's an unhappy, tired camper, Danny Wofford, who has just given up. Alex Stewart came from his corner over, and Wofford said, I ain't got nothing. Wrong day of the week, babe.
Yep, that's
That was
exactly
it.
what he said. And he had every right to do that. He took a lot of good punches by Alex Stewart, head shots and body shots.
How you doing?
So you can see he's a bit disappointed with the way he performed. Probably figured he had an opportunity.
Okay.
And he just couldn't take advantage of it, while Alex Stewart has to be happy with the way he performed tonight.
As I said before, this kid Wofford usually goes the limit with everybody, but Alex looked very, very good tonight. He answered a lot of questions as far as I'm concerned.
I think
He was very aggressive. He threw a lot of good combination punching. He threw real good body shots. He switched to the head. He looked very aggressive in there.
I think one of the biggest questions he answered was to himself, because
Absolutely.
he followed what Jimmy Williams was telling him, and he followed it to a T, and he comes up with a victory, the 27th win of his career against 2 losses. Now let's go into the ring to ring announcer Bob Orff.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Wofford retired at the end of the 5th round after a great fight. It's a TKO, your winner, Alex the Destroyer Stewart. Alex Stewart, your winner. Now 27-2. How about a round of applause for Danny Wofford also? Danny Wofford.
Well, we mentioned that Wofford was getting very tired around, I guess, midway 3rd round.
At the end of every round, he got worse and worse as he was going back to the corner.
And you could see right there, he didn't want to go back.
Well, he shook his head, and his corner man asked him, do you want to quit? And he said, yeah, I've had it. He's shaking his head as though he wants to quit.
Looking for the lounge chair.
Well, the corner man picked up on that as he was shaking his head, and he just asked him point blank, you want to quit? And he said, yeah.
Now, Alex Stewart still in the ring, basking in the glow of victory. Right now, December is long forgotten, but still at the end of his trail, he says he wants a championship, but you know, he wants to get another shot at Mike Tyson.
Well, as I said before, Freddie, after that loss to Tyson, he had 2 ways to go, and I think he chose the second one. The first one, he came back, he worked hard, he listened to what Jimmy told him. He's improved as a fighter. I saw it in this fight. His opponent wasn't the greatest in the world, but he did what he had to do.
So Alex Stewart wins this one over Danny Wofford in the 5th, TKO. From St. Joseph, Missouri, for Joe Ferriello, this is Fred Manfra saying thanks for joining us tonight. Alex the Destroyer Stewart, the winner. Ricardo Cepeda also notching a victory here in St. Joe.